switch it over, let me press those buttons so you don't see that thing on the screen. That's classy right there, boys. Boom. Morning. Welcome to the Don't Be the Artist live stream. How we doing?
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo, woo, woo. I didn't have the air horn ready. Yeah, there we go. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Good. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I love doing this because
Yeah?
I was sitting at home and was like, I got so many songs to learn, and then I was like, I'll just wait until after. I'm starting to get a lot of anxiety, and then I was like, oh yeah, I get to go hang out with Hagen.
Yeah, it's good.
That feels
It's
nice.
Good. It feels really nice.
Yeah, it's good to get out of the house.
Yeah, it's
Holy weird.
Yeah, this week has been something else. This week has definitely been something else. It has been tough to be in the house. But the thing that sucks also is like going on like walks is like not fun.
No,
in this
yeah.
condition.
Yeah, my calves have been sore
Yeah.
since like Tuesday.
If for some reason you're not in Texas and you're watching this, Texas was frozen over. It was rained over. It was iced over. It was everything.
It happened really fast.
It happened, instantaneously. It was like on Monday. Suddenly, we were all just frozen.
I was really glad because Monday morning I woke up and I saw all the reports of what the weather was going to be, and I was like, just in case, because we didn't have enough eggs.
Yeah,
Things like that. I was like, I'm going to go get some stuff, and boy, am I glad, because it was about 9 a.m. when I did that. By like 11 or 12, it was like, all right.
And we should also count ourselves lucky because like for North Texas, which is where we are, we were pretty good in terms of like power and shit. It happened in a few places, but if you look at like the outage map, like Austin got fucked.
Yeah.
It's like 30% of energy in Austin was all shut off. It's crazy.
It's needless.
Well, and I mean, like the thing is that like it's obviously better than the last time Texas had to deal with this, but it still just shouldn't happen in the first place.
You're right.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. So
Yeah.
for any of our listeners that are in Austin, we're thinking about you,
Yeah, if you're watching this without power,
or later on.
you're sitting in your house in the cold with your phone, like I love Don't Feed the Artist.
I wish I could watch DFTA right now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So today, then we talked about it last week too. We talked about briefly the Panic at the Disco disbandment.
Yeah,
I think using the term breakup is weird for them.
Because it's just Brendan Urie.
Because it's just it's billed as a solo project for a lot of stuff I read for the last 3 albums.
Yes.
So like calling it a breakup is like what?
Yeah,
like,
he just is like, I'm breaking up with me.
He said I'm just done here. So I thought we could kind of talk about some Panic at the Disco stuff. And for anyone in the chat who is a Panic at the Disco fan or who has an opinion either way, or please chime in, let us know what you think of Panic at the Disco as we talk. But I spent the last night and this morning listening to most of their music. I didn't listen to everything. I listened to majority of some albums, half of some, and then there's 2 albums that I know really, really well. So I didn't need to listen to all of them, which is a bummer because I like those albums a lot. But so I let those go. But before we go too deep, Dave, what's your relationship with Panic at the Disco?
I just know them peripherally, and I respect Brendan Urie's vocals. Like his vocal ability is incredible.
Yeah.
From what I gather or have heard, he's also a good drummer, because I mentioned that Mike Viola, an artist who I really enjoy, Mike Viola has been touring with Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
At the same time, Mike Viola records a new record, and Brendan Urie is the drummer on the record, which is like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not that his music is like super complex or anything like that, but you wouldn't let someone who's really good at singing and piano play drums if they weren't good at drums.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I gather he's a really good musician.
Yeah. He's a very, very, very good musician.
And a student of mine one time had me teach him what's the name of that song? A Long Year, or
Oh, is it one of the ballads?
yeah, it's one of the
Yeah.
I think it's the last song on one of the records.
Yeah, the ballad work is pretty interesting. Ian said, I wasn't a huge fan, but a friend of mine showed me a couple acoustic tunes and I came around. His vines were also hilarious. He did vines.
You looked at Vines?
I mean, I like the acoustic stuff, the ballads, anything where you can kind of showcase his voice is kind of the shining thing, I think, for Panic at the Disco.
Yes.
Because the thing about like the band is they were a band for 4 albums. But they were only a 4-piece for 2 of those albums, and then they were a 2-piece for the next 2, and then it was solo for the next 3.
Yeah, there was one guy, Scott something or other, that was in the band like the whole time.
Spencer or something? Yeah, Scott, yeah, whatever it is, yeah. Yeah, that is like he's the drummer, and he stayed with him. And then when Death of the Bachelor was like getting written and getting made, he was going through rehab and stuff, and they decided the best call was
for him to step away.
Yeah, exactly. And same thing goes for the members that were before. So there was a bass player, I think first, can't remember his name, but he was in the band for the first album, and then he left because I think he also had substance abuse problems. And then when they got the new bass player and the guitar player, they did 2 more albums with them, and they sat down and they were like, so how do you feel about the band? And the guitar player and bass player were like, I think we need to go in a different direction. And Brendan Urie and the drummer were like, we're really glad you said that.
There's the door.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out.
It was very mutual. It was yeah. So
the song I was thinking of is called "Impossible Year."
Oh, Impossible
It's got
Year
a
is
lot of
great
really
song.
cool like chord changes. The like line cliche of the 5 sharp 5 6
Yeah.
to dominant 7. That it's just beautiful.
Yeah, he's all about those kind of changes.
Yeah.
The Ballad of Mona Lisa was the song. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I've never heard that.
One's
as far as I know.
That one's on one of the In Between albums, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So I think that like when it comes to most people love them for the first album. That's it.
Right.
That's it. Now, what I want to kind of really dive into about Panic at the Disco today, especially, is that people really rag on Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
Like, give them endless shit.
Because they're kind of a caricature of themselves.
Because they're the kids would say cringe.
Yeah.
Right?
We do have to say that now.
Yeah.
As the kids would say.
Yeah, the kids would say it's very cringe. So I think that to dive into that a little bit, what makes it so cringe?
Let's start with some of the longer song titles.
Okay. But I think that this is something that is really like, this is why the first album does so well, because of when it came out and what it came out around.
Can you pull up the track listing on the first album?
Yeah. So the first album came out, I believe, in 2005.
And they were not too far out of high school, right?
No, not at all. They were pretty much right there.
I hate that. You know what? My research, I was like, oh fuck, I should probably do a little bit of reading at about noon today. And the first thing I tried to research was, do they come from wealthy families?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Couldn't find anything necessarily.
Well, they had an album that came out before A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. So this was their first album, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. But they had an album that came out before this, before they got signed. I don't know where you can find it. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. It might be listed as like an EP somewhere, but I'm pretty sure this is like the first one they had on a label. This is the one that has I Write Sins, Not Tragedies on it.
Okay, wait a second. Sorry. Let's read some of these titles.
Yeah.
The only difference between Martyrdom and Suicide is press coverage.
Yeah.
He was probably 20, maybe, when he wrote this stuff, right?
About, yeah. And also the other thing about it is that like they had, so like going back to the cringe thing just a little bit aside from the names, is that like a lot of people gave them shit now for the lyrical content. And I'm like, when was it ever anything like super duper out there?
For the lyrical content and like how on the nose it is?
Just like
cheesy,
yeah, just like not very good. But like
you mean like lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off?
Or there's a good reason these table numbers are numbered, honey. You just haven't thought of it yet.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that.
That's a song title.
Yeah,
I was gonna use that as like a reference for like in a musical moment today, and I was like, I had to wait for Apple Music to scroll on my phone because I didn't know what the fucking song title was.
Were iPods out at this point?
Yeah, 2005. Yeah.
Like,
That must have been. They came out in 2000 or 2001, something.
No
like that.
way. Let's look that up real quick.
iPods came out in early 2000. Yeah, didn't they? Maybe it was 2005. I could be wrong.
Came out in, I guess, 2015.
An iPod?
Oh, the iPod Touch came out in 2015.
God.
Shut up, dude.
It's like, no fucking shot.
I'm trying to do this really quickly. 2001.
2001. Okay,
I was gonna say because
okay.
I don't think they thought of like the scrolling
For sure. Well,
for the song titles.
But this is indicative to the time. If you go look at like Fall Out Boy, if you go look at like, and this is like this, I believe the Fall Out Boy first album came out in 2005 as well.
Okay.
So like Sugar We're Going Down, the lyrical content in that, and like the other song titles on that album, as well as like looking at like the lyrical content with like I Write Sins Not Tragedies and all this other stuff, it all lines up. It's all of the time. It's all the same fucking thing. Yeah.
I constantly thank God for Esteban.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Intermission, it's like in the middle of the record. It's just one word, so you don't have to read so many fucking long song titles.
Nails
whatever.
for breakfast, tax for snacks.
That was happening all over the place.
Yeah. Little known fact, iPods are only 5 years old.
Shut up, Bob.
Robbie, it's not 2020.
Yeah, dude. Careful.
Huh.
You're hovering over that end stream button. I know you got a happy finger to click for clicking.
I do. Whenever I have like my actual mouse.
Yeah, you just go, I know. Yeah, and you almost ended the stream.
Well, it's whatever.
All 6 of them would have been like, what happened?
Robbie inspires me to like quit stuff. Whenever we play Fall Guys, he like
like rage quit?
He just like touches all the buttons on his controller, and when he does that, it just quits him out of the game. So Robbie being here, I was like, oh man, I gotta get out of here.
Also, hi Robbie.
Hi Robbie, thanks for watching. So I like the song titles are definitely part of like the past cringe, but they're very part of the time.
Absolutely.
And I think that maybe the issue for some people is that they maybe didn't grow out of this so much.
Yeah.
Not the song titles thing, but maybe like the lyrical content or the musical content from this stuff. So like some of the stuff that like I would use it as an example is we all know what I Write Scenes Not Tragedy sound like. So instead, I'm going to play just a snippet from There's a Good Reason These Tables Are Numbered, Honey. You just haven't thought of it yet.
This was, for the record, too, this was happening in Canada as well. There was a band called Monine that had the longest fucking song titles ever.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
It was a very, very, very real thing. So let me skip ahead a little bit.
We're going to hear it in the ears?
Yeah.
Nice.
They've been doing this shit since the beginning.
Yeah.
This theatrical, corny.
It's Queen.
Right.
Yeah.
But people like rag on them for this endlessly. To me, this is just like Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, exactly.
So the thing that's different about this, the first album, I'd say, is obviously it's like it's establishing what their sound is, establishing what they do, but also like he's figuring out, I think, how to be a singer still. Like his voice sounds really good, but a lot of his melody kind of feels like he's just like
He'll get there.
Yeah,
He'll get there.
He definitely does.
But it's like you said, it's just Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
And if you are surprised at the lyrical content now, it's like, okay, well, like you said, you haven't been listening to them.
Right. And so kind of like without like jumping too far ahead yet, I'm going to kind of take us kind of album by album on some of this to kind of just prove the point that it has always been established.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to establish a thesis point in the beginning of this, which is that Panic at the Disco fans and Star Wars fans have one thing in common.
Okay.
Okay, people watch Star Wars now and they're like, the writing is dog shit. I'm like, when was it ever good?
Okay, yeah.
This is like the biggest, like the story, like the world building was great in Star Wars forever.
Yeah.
The world building was like really important. But George Lucas is a bad writer. Like when was the actual script of Star Wars like, wow, that sure was inspiring shit, good writing, you know?
Right, yeah.
And so when you look at Panic at the Disco fans, they kind of look at like, you know, man, it's so cringe. The lyrics are so bad. The music is so corny or theatrical. It's like, it's been that way, man. It's been that way. I still think about the time you robot danced in front of Mom to the bridge in that Moni tune.
Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. There's a part in one of the songs that goes, dun dun. It's got these hits,
yeah.
and I was just doing that in the kitchen to my mom.
On the hits?
Yeah. And she was just like, what the fuck did I do?
Okay, so moving past the first album, by the way, the first album is really, really good. I would say that like the biggest complaint to have about the first album would be that the vocal production is weird. It's like really placed in the front of everything.
Yeah.
But not in like a way that's like, it feels awkward. It feels like it's like EQ'd wrong or something.
Right.
But otherwise, the first album is a blast.
What is his voice isn't nasally, but it has that kind of.
He's just really bright.
Yeah,
he's
okay.
really bright. Yeah, he's got like a super duper bright tone. He opens up to the wide vowels really really well. He's an excellent like. I have a couple of examples of why people are like, you know, we're talking about like hating fans that are haters and shit. I have examples as to what they'll bring up as to why he's like a bad singer, but like he's not. He's just like just factually, and that's just wrong. You're wrong. Facts don't care about your feelings. So we're gonna jump into Pretty Odd, their second album, their sophomore album. It feels like a second album to me. When I listened to this, I was like, yeah, this feels like they were doing a second album. But for anybody who is going to be like, Panic at the Disco is so cringe now, listen to the first fucking song on this album.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm
glad I didn't listen to this.
I got to skip ahead just a little bit because it doesn't start right on the lyrics, I don't think. Hold on. Okay, yeah, just a little bit more. Here you go.
Strings.
Oh, how it's been so long. We're so sorry we've been gone. We were busy writing songs for you.
Oh my fucking god. Oh, turn it off. That was 3 years.
Dude.
Right? 2005 to 2008. 3 fucking years.
And they came out. That was the first song on the album, which again is like if you're looking at like the kind of pop punk era, like that that made sense. But it's like I'm so sorry that you're like Gen Z liking Panic at the Disco. Go back and listen to this shit and tell me that this isn't like absolutely horrible to listen to.
And it's only a minute and 20 seconds long.
It's an intro to like the single on the album, which is a great song. 9 in the Afternoon is really cool.
But they could have lopped that off, and it would still be just as cheesy. But now they have the option that if they haven't toured in a while,
yeah,
they can bring this one out.
Well, they have a lot they can bring out. They have, I mean, I think I actually watched a lot of live footage of them last night. It was more recent stuff, but they do a fucking show.
Yeah,
they do a fucking show.
I think the only real live stuff I've seen is when they did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
and I was like, holy fuck!
I gotta do it now. So that's the clip that everybody uses, and they're like, Bren Urie actually is a dog shit singer.
It's shaky and like.
Well, his voice gave out.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, ah,
yeah,
like his voice was done. This is something that like is like so tough. Is like the 2005 to now. He has been touring.
Yeah.
It has been, and he has been singing high notes after high notes after high notes,
and they're getting higher.
Yeah, he's not like done. He's not done with that shit.
Yeah,
he is forever going to be singing those high notes. So that is like I don't know. That example is the one like that I see on TikTok all the time of like Brendan Urie is actually really really bad.
That's one moment.
Yeah, exactly. Forgot about the intro. It is cringe. It's absolutely cringe.
Yeah.
It is like there's something about like that intro. But it just feels so much like the time. It feels like 2008 in a way. You know,
it does. It really does. And it's like everyone that was popular at that point in time in this kind of genre did stuff like that.
If we go through the song titles here, it's not so bad. Like it gets.
They stole a moniker song.
Yep. That Green Gentleman parentheses things have changed. I have friends in holy spaces.
Oh fuck.
The piano knows something I don't know. Folking around from a mountain in the middle of the cabins. That's fine. There you go.
Cabin in the middle of the mountains.
Okay, so that's pretty odd. That's their second album.
Do you think anyone in the band, when he was telling them the name of the song titles, was like, "Oh, Brendan, I quit"?
Well, yeah.
Maybe that's why he's a solo act.
I don't think that's why he's a solo act. So I do know that when the other two guys left, and I believe it was after Pretty Odd, they started their own project, which I'll play just like a snippet of. They basically wanted to go down this like route of like more like not classic rock, like throwback to like 50s, 60s kind of stuff, like vintage, I guess. So I'll play like a snippet of this, of like their most played song.
Oh, that's There Goes My Baby.
Yeah,
That's literally it. It's Hal Blaine.
So that's the Young Vanes. That's the guitar player and the bass player from Panic at the Disco, originally leaving to start their own project, because they liked the direction that Panic was going, because they were doing a lot more of this kind of like classic, like kind of throwback 50s, 60s kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
they continue to kind of do more of that. But at the time, they were leaning more into what we'll talk about next on Vices and Virtues.
Wait, real quick. Can you put on Be My Baby or Be My Little Baby?
Be My Little Baby.
Yeah. I think that's the name of the song. Because I think it's in the same key as that one, as Cape Town. And I think it has like, yeah, the Ronettes. Same fucking tempo.
Oh.
Wait for the.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man, that's great. Well, I mean, that was the whole point of what they were doing with the Young Vanes. They
Yeah,
were
but
like,
it's
they
a
were
bit like on the nose.
Sure, yeah, it is. It is. So we start Vices and Virtues. This is like the duo record.
An
This
EP?
No. This is
Oh, I
this is
didn't
an
see the
album.
rest.
Yeah, this is an album. This is a full on. This is the next thing they did after. What was it? What was it? Something odd. Pretty odd. And so this is just Brendan Urie and the drummer, and the writing has changed. It has changed 110%.
Oh, there's the Ballad of Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
My
So
brother was mentioning.
I'll play a snippet of that so we can kind of hear. I don't think. Sorry, I shouldn't say drastically changed, but it's changed. It's like you can tell that they went in a different direction.
Yeah.
Cape Town sounds like My Girl by the Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that like what I heard when I heard that was obviously like kind of like the 60s vibe, but there's a band called Mini Mansions
Yes.
that is the bass player for Queens of the Stone Age, his side project, and it's heavily inspired by 60s music.
Yeah.
And it's like 60s music with modern production kind of vibes.
Yeah.
More psychedelic from the Mini Mansions project, but
Yeah.
kind of
I agree.
kind of similar thing. So let's just do like the intro of Ballad of Mona Lisa. Still pretty panicky.
It's a funny thing to say.
Panicky? Now it's not.
I like that.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being acoustically cheesy.
So this is where, like, weirdly enough, I was looking at like how their albums were received, and like by critics.
Mm-hmm.
Vices and Virtues in our next one were actually received pretty well, which I was like genuinely shocked by. What the fuck?
Do you not like these records as much as the first two?
Oh no, not
Really?
at all. Not at all. No, I think that I found myself with Pretty Odd liking it, but not being super into it. With Vices and Virtues and Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, which is our next one. That's an annoying name. I found myself getting really bored.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I can see why critics, just from that like 30 seconds, it sounds more mature.
It does. And I think that the songwriting really grew, because I'm assuming Brendan Urie is when he starts to be like, no, I'm in charge now.
Yeah, he's doing it for 6 years.
Yeah. This is his shtick. The drummer is probably just like, I'll play drums.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. So I'm pretty indifferent on this album. And then Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, it is pretty much the same thing. This is gospel. I hated this.
I was like, what's he gonna say?
That's not fair. I didn't hate it. I just was like, I didn't get it. It felt really. It feels like he's doing an arena rock thing on these new things. You know,
He might be. They're starting to play bigger shows.
Yeah. But still trying to like keep a little bit of who he is. You know.
Yeah.
There's
Great
the
bass
O's.
tone. Yeah. 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's pandering.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is Miss Jackson an Outkast cover?
Nope. The drums are like the kind of like cliched like
Yeah.
marching snare.
He
build-up
probably had
thing.
a floor tom on stage with him for this tour. Lots of haze and yaz.
Yeah. I really could not with that album.
Moniker should write a hay song. Do you think Jackson will go for that?
Fuck no. There's no shot.
I'm gonna try to do it at the next rehearsal. When we rehearse for these out of town shows, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to be like, hey, let's write it. Let's put some haze in there.
Some haze and O's.
Yeah.
So then we enter the new era of Panic at the Disco, which
We're at the
is
last three.
the solo era. Yeah, we're at the last three, and this is where I feel like most people now. Obviously, it's the most recent ones, but like I had students who liked these albums.
Yeah. Same.
This is stuff where I like these albums too. Well, kind of. I like two of them a lot. So Death of a Bachelor was his first solo one. I think that this album is like really cool, really fun. It definitely has its cheese, but like Victorious is awesome. Death of a Bachelor, the title track, is awesome. Really, really cool stuff.
Impossible Year, the one I was just mentioning.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, and we'll play a little bit of that one. If
Do you, at this point in his career, it's a solo act, right?
it's like officially a solo act. Yeah,
And it's still called Panic at the Disco. I think he could have just went with, Brendan Urie.
I wonder if someone
was
told
that
him
well
not to.
known.
Yeah, I
The
think,
argument for keeping the name would be to keep the reputation and the
Right.
notoriety so that you don't have to say formerly Panic at the Disco. Brendan Urie is releasing solo stuff, but he was not a household name, but maybe.
I mean, I think he could have done it without without keeping the name. I think he could have changed the name to just Brendan Urie or to something else. I think that's my biggest complaint the whole time is like this just isn't a band. This is him.
Yeah,
And
it's him.
That's like honestly one of the coolest things to me is that like he switched to playing everything.
Like
He plays
literally?
drums, he plays so on the personnel. If you look on the Wikipedia, like for the overall like Panic at the Disco like years, I got really confused because it had said Brendan Urie 2015, 2016 to present for drums and bass, and I was like, but there was like a space, and I was like, what do you mean he was a singer? Where's that credit? And I was like, oh, he did piano, guitar, voice from 2005 to present, and then when this happened, he added drums and bass.
Wow.
So he I'm sure that he had people play play on the records that weren't him
Yeah.
necessarily, but he was the main person behind.
He could have done it all himself.
He might have done a large portion. I didn't look at all the personnel for each track, but he might have done every single bit of it himself. And I think that like my favorite thing about these albums is I feel like you mentioned the writing maturing. I think the writing really matures in this album and the one after it. I feel really like he found a stride of like the kind of Baroque pop thing that he does, as well as like really leaning into it is, the like 2016, 2019, whatever the next one comes out.
Yeah.
Like for a second, I'm just gonna play Victorious, this first song, and then I'll play a little bit of Impossible Year, because Victorious starts off like pretty much right away into the whole shtick. It's like kind of cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a head nodder right away.
Yeah.
And then it's cheesy, but it's like
I don't know, man. Any riff that ends in dun dun dun, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's either a sports show or a fucking '90s hip hop track.
I get it. I totally get it. It's there's no denying that it's not cheesy.
Like
but
up in arpeggio, da 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 da, ba ba ba. It's like that's it. It's welcome to sports night. That's what it is.
Well, hold on.
Are you gonna pause it? Hi and welcome.
I'm playing you on.
Cowboys lose again.
Yeah. So it is cheesy, but like he's definitely leaning into I think more of what I think people really like.
Yeah.
Attached to with like the first album.
I wonder if you could show him that young Brendan Urie fresh out of high school. Like, hey man, this is what you're gonna sound like in
Yeah.
Fucking 15 years or whatever. He'd be like, whoa.
He'd probably be like, "Let me hear what my voice sounds like."
Yeah. Oh, all my band members sound great. It's like, it's just you.
It's just you.
Everyone's in rehab.
Yep. Or quit probably because
Or
of
quit.
you. Yeah. Impossible Year. Let's play a little bit of that one. I forget how this one starts. Yeah, try with piano.
The horns.
Yeah.
That's so the no no no. That's the line cliche,
Yeah.
There's no sunshine.
and his voice sounds great.
This is one of the things where you like.
Impossible year.
Can we just get to? Are we gonna get flagged?
I'm just cutting them, but I can skip ahead.
Well, I just want to hear the.
We're gonna get flagged. I don't really care.
It's gonna happen.
We're not. We got flagged last week. I didn't tell you.
No.
Yeah, it got.
Did we get a strike?
No, we can't play. It just can't be played in Russia.
What did we do?
It was playing Flowers. It was playing Miley Cyrus.
Oh.
But it recognized it across the board. But
Yeah.
it was like, you're fine. But for Russia, it was like, nah.
Russia was like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's super interesting. It said you could do like a breakdown of it, but I was like, I don't really like. It's just going to be a copyright thing. But I'm curious why specifically, like why there's a
Russia.
Yeah, really weird.
Okay, yeah. Then don't worry about it.
I don't know. I can skip ahead. Do you want me to skip to like the chorus, or I don't? I think the best thing about Impossible Year is it really does showcase his voice. He's got that low na 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 like right away.
crooner.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can just look up the chords because I wanted to know if it was an actual key change in anywhere.
I thought it was. I thought so. But there's a lot of really, really cool writing across this album, across Death of a Bachelor. If you can lean in some of the cheese, it says in the description that it's like a turbocharged romp through his box of tricks. It's an album that sounds like a spectacular Broadway musical, love letter to Los Angeles, and celebration of his band's mighty achievements all at once. Of his bands, it's just him, man.
It's just him. Okay, so the first verse is in. Oh yeah, okay. So it looks like it's moving in fourths. The first verse is in F. Verse 2 is in B flat. Verse 3 is in E flat.
Nice.
Bridge is in A flat, and then it goes back to E flat.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
And he's going higher.
Yeah.
As just skip to like maybe close to like 3/4 of the way through, and just see how much higher his voice is. Of course, we would go to the solo section.
There's no
Oh,
sunshine.
okay, go back there. He's up there
Yeah.
in the orchestration.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So then we go to Pray for the Wicked, the next album.
Pray for the wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to ask this at the start. Why is there an exclamation point?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. That's
Panic
something
at the disco.
I feel like that's something that I knew at one point, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not something I really know. So this album has like the song that most people kind of cite as like his best vocal performance. I don't know if it is, but High Hopes is like a really, really great vocal performance.
Yeah.
And like when he does it live, he hits these like crazy falsetto notes that are just like, I'll see if I can pull it up on my phone because I don't want to make the computer freak out more than I think it is. But
That it's just so impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
recently I've seen some footage of him where he was trying to perform stuff from the newest record, and was having trouble.
that's the newest record. That's one of the complaints I'll have about it. Is like the first time I listened to it, I was like, "What?
Yeah.
How is he doing that? Like, how is he singing those notes?" I'm like, "There's no shot he can do that live."
Yeah.
And I've seen some videos where he does do it live, but for the most part, he cannot do it live.
Yeah, it's a tough call, man, because you got the range. So do you record it in the studio, and then just not do it live,
Right.
or do you
Yeah.
fucking go for it?
I think he goes for it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's his move. Okay, so this is from High Hopes, and this is him. Like, there's like a little like break in the song, and then he hits these high notes.
High notes.
He's not singing here. That's his backup singers. This is him.
Oh, it's a little flat, right?
So this video that I have pulled up actually like breaks down when he's sharp too, because it says that he hits a C sharp 6, and the only reason he hits that is because he's a little sharp on the note.
Oh my god, by default.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean he was a little flat there, but he sounded great. Like those are some high notes.
Yeah,
and especially to hit them like that, it's just like whoo.
it's like you do it. Yeah, I'm not fucking even getting close to that.
And he hits it with like such like he's again, his performance is crazy. He's
Yeah.
sprinting around on stage. He's playing instruments. There's a whole shtick where they have a floating piano that he's playing and singing. Like it's a show.
grand?
Yeah, it's a
Do
show.
you think it's okay? So 99% of the time when you see, maybe not at this level because they're huge, but when you see anybody on stage with a grand piano, what they've done is gutted it and put
Yeah.
a Nord in the keyboard slot where it would stay. If you were to have a floating grand piano, it's gonna go out of tune.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess that it's an electric keyboard.
It probably is, yeah. But
Okay.
well, especially because like it had like it was a grand that had like all these lights and shit. It was like
Right.
I think you could see through it. It was a
like
whole thing.
acrylic.
I don't know. I think it was acrylic. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I just thought it was funny because when I saw Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros and their whole aesthetic is that 2005, you know.
Haze and O's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like probably smell bad when they're on tour, kind of thing. And they bring an upright piano with them, and I was backstage playing at a festival and saw the piano player from the back, and I was like, "It's a fucking Nord."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so strange. I get it. It's the technical side of things,
Makes
but
sense.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
So so that's kind of the gist of this album. There's cool stuff on this album. I did like it quite a lot when it came out. I didn't go back to it as much as I went back to Death of the Bachelor, but it's still a really cool album if you like the kind of solo-y vibes that he does. And then we get into Viva Las Vengeance. I battled with this album a lot.
came out late last year, right?
Yeah. I think middle of the year, maybe. It's August.
August. Okay.
I battled with this album a lot because there's some pretty crazy shit he does on here. This is where he hits some crazy. I can't remember. I didn't listen to the whole album today because I was just like,
It's a lot. It's really dense.
You know what? I will show you why in a moment why I didn't listen to the whole album. But this album is like. I have a hard time with the fans being like, they're so cringe, but like the second song on this album, like it's really tough to get past. It's really tough as a Panic fan to be like, fuck man, why did you do that? Why did you do that? So I'm gonna put it into perspective for us before I play that, and I'm gonna read the lyrics from a song from the first album, and maybe what we can kind of go into is maybe he should have grown. Maybe the lyrics should have grown. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Musically there was growth, but lyrics, who knows? So. This is from Lying is the Most Fun a Girl Can Have Without Taking Her Clothes Off. Is it still me that makes you sweat? Am I who you think about in bed when the lights are dim and your hands are shaking as you're sliding off your dress? Then think of what you did and how I hope to God he was worth it. That's fine so far. When the lights are dim and your heart is racing, as your fingers touch his skin, I've got more wit, a better kiss, a hotter touch, a better fuck. Than any boy you'll ever meet, sweetie, you had me. Like maybe that it's like, 2005. The chorus, so testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold a lover close? So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold a lover close?
He's that guy in high school that's like, you're pretty sure he's gay, but at least when I grew up in high school, it's like, yeah, that guy's probably gay.
Well,
but it wasn't like as accepted back then, and so they're very flamboyant and probably are in theater, and they like are extremely. It's like I wish I could be that comfortable in society with myself. And he writes lyrics, and it's like, oh, there it is.
I think some people would say theater kids need to be stopped.
Yes,
I think some people.
I was
probably,
a theater kid.
I was a theater kid too,
Yeah.
but I wasn't that.
No.
I had friends that were that.
Yeah.
I had friends that were like that would like it's really cool that they read books and wrote poetry and shit, but like fuck that, dude.
Oh, that guy reads books.
I was busy playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I was out skateboarding and smelled like body odor. But that's the thing, right? Is like, and it's just that type of person, and you go like, they're probably not going to go anywhere. They're either going to be fucking super famous, or just nowhere.
There's an air of pretension behind it.
Yes, yeah. And
so,
confidence that I just will never possess.
But it's a fully fledged like verse chorus that has words that are like, there's stuff here.
Yeah.
All right. So have you heard this song, Middle of a Breakup?
I've heard this whole record. I remember none of it.
Well, you're gonna remember this. I gotta find where the chorus is. Maybe I can find like the lead into it. Let me see. Fuck you. Here we go. Pre-chorus.
Oh, that's Mike Viola, the backups.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit, you're kissing my neck kissing my chest. Now I remember why we fell in love. Hot smoke feels like we just met. Lips I couldn't kick. Honey, honey, you're my favorite drug. Give me disco, give me T-Rex. Make up sex in the middle of a breakup. Pass me your last cigarette. Make up sex in the middle of a breakup.
Make up sex in the middle of a breakup. Shut the fuck up.
That's toxic.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I remember like listening to this album and being like, this is, I'm bouncing. This is nice.
Yeah.
And then like I'm paying attention to what this song is about. I'm like, this sucks.
So yeah,
This is dog shit.
There was this songwriter I was talking to one time who was like in Canada. He was getting close to being like pretty famous and like blowing up in the charts. And he said, one thing I've noticed about songwriting is that you can, like in the pop world, you can literally say anything and it doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
And as long as it makes people dance, it doesn't matter. People will make sense of it however they need to.
Right.
So maybe there's some of that.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a catchy line like make up sex in the middle of a breakup, but at some point he says the word T-Rex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
like you could
to get into that rhyme of sex.
Yeah, there's songs, there's like cheesy pop songs that I'm totally in for like having this kind of lyrical shit, right? One of my favorite examples is Kesha Dinosaur. You know that song?
I mean, I don't know.
Dinosaur.
It spells out dinosaur?
You are a dinosaur. OLDMAN. You're just an old man hitting on me. What?
Stop pointing at me. I'm getting insecure. That's you're a dinosaur.
You need a CAT scan. Dude, it's a
That's
banger.
high school shit, like
It's a
calling someone a
banger.
dinosaur.
It's so good.
Yeah, or this shit is bananas.
Yeah,
Like
we talked
Gwen
about that
Stefani.
last week, yeah. But like this is just like, dude, how old are you? 35? Like,
And then he's like, I'm done. I'm gonna be a father.
yeah. So that's the next thing is that I have the statement pulled up of the disbandment of Panic at the Disco of the end. So basically, just saying that exactly that they're calling it quits because he's gonna be a dad, and so he doesn't want to be full time into this side of music. He doesn't want to put all of his focus and energy into Panic at the Disco, and Panic at the Disco will be no more. So you think that it will come back?
100%. 100%.
What if he does? What if he comes back with what everybody's been saying? It's just be Brendan Urie and don't be Panic at the Disco anymore.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, okay,
they're gonna do When We Were Young brought everybody back. If Mars Volta can come back,
Well, yeah, I think also this year is huge for Panic at the Disco's era.
Mm-hmm.
Fall Out Boy and Paramore are both dropping a new album this year. And so far, everything from those albums sounds great.
Yeah.
And this in Panic at the Disco, this is kind of the interesting thing that I wanted to dive into, which is how much do you think the fans had to do with this?
With them, with him deciding to call it quits, I think like as much as we see the hate on the internet, I think 99% of what he sees and interacts with in a day-to-day life is just love.
I hope so. Because the amount of hate that I see from fucking fans is just like, holy shit. Like people do not put up with Brendan Urie.
Right.
They have no patience for his his weird shit in songs. And in some way I get it. Like this is the conversation that you can always have when you listen to the first album and then listen to Make Up Sex in the middle of a breakup is like should there have been growth in the middle there? And I think there was.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Whether it be musically or lyrically.
I think it was musically.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it was musical. I think it was so. I think this is the thing that we probably talked about like on the main show before, which is just like a one person doing everything is like it's wildly impressive and even more impossible the more that you dive into it, because like when you have to play every instrument, write everything, he has producers,
absolutely,
but like,
and engineers.
Yeah, but like still. When you have all that weight on your shoulders, it's like, this is tough.
Maybe some pressure from a label.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he was on, I don't know what Viva Las Vengeance came out on. He was on Fueled by Ramen the whole time.
Same label as Paramore.
Paramore is everybody from that era.
And the other band you just mentioned.
Fall Out Boy?
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, everyone from that era was signed to.
So it's a bit fishy that Fall Out Boy and Paramore are coming back. and they probably called him like "move over, bitch."
Well, here's the thing that I wanted to I'm going to dive into on my own time, which is I think that Brendan Urie and Patrick Stump are like BFFs.
Really?
Patrick Stump's lead singer from Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
They've like whenever one of them will do like a feature, the other one might also show up and do like a feature. I think they're like pretty good friends. They'll do like special stuff together, and their voices are like they've got to blend well.
Yeah.
Those two voices have got to blend so fucking well. Are you kidding me? But yeah, so I think that like them ending things as Panic at the Disco is like ultimately sad because I would like for them to release more music. I'd like for them to keep doing what they're doing. But good for him to go be a dad, and good for him to take a break at the very least.
Yes, and what a luxury for him to be like, all right, I'm going to be a dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to Rick Moranis my way out of here.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
It's really, really cool.
He's not done. There's two, what is it, like 8, 9 records?
Seven, yeah.
With like several hits?
Yeah.
He's not done.
Yeah, I mean, I Write Sins Not Tragedies will be a forever hit.
Yeah, and well, maybe he's going to be more of a behind the scenes guy.
I could see that.
You know, recording on people's albums and maybe producing stuff.
Yeah, I like. It would be interesting to see him go the route of maybe like do the comeback stuff like Paramore and Fall Out Boy have been doing eventually. But I think that he should just like write music, like be a part of the production, or like he's playing drums on Mike Viola's thing.
Yeah,
he should, that's an awesome. He should definitely do that.
Yeah, because that's where his strengths are. If you think about like he's an incredible singer, he's a great musician, and he's not a good lyricist. It's like
put him on Broadway.
Yeah, put him
on Broadway.
Don't let him write.
No.
Not as a writer.
Brendan Urie, you're an excellent singer. You're not Lin-Manuel Miranda. You're not. You're not. Don't write it.
Don't do it.
Just sing it. Just sing it. He'd be killer on Broadway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely killer.
He's got the moves.
Yeah.
He's got the looks.
He's definitely got he's got the performance. That's the like I said at the live show.
Great hair.
They just great hair.
Great hair.
He's pretty attractive.
Super attractive.
He's a pretty attractive guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He also live streams on Twitch every once in a while.
Really?
Yeah. He did. Speaking of Broadway, I actually saw a clip of him singing a song from Wicked on his Twitch stream.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's already got one foot in the door.
Yeah. He's probably could have both feet in the door really easily. He could just make one call and be like, I'd like to be on Broadway now.
All right. You're up.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the gist of the Panic thing. If anybody else has any thoughts on Panic at the Disco, feel free to send them on over to us.
I don't believe anyone now when they say they're done.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I don't. I don't necessarily think Oasis will ever come back.
But that's not with like that's just because they hate each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like Coldplay, they're after 3 more records, they're done.
Yeah.
But they're not done touring. But they're only done releasing records.
But they've got to be like getting close to 50, yeah?
Close, yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Joel did the same thing.
Yeah.
He stopped releasing records and started touring. I think Panic at the Disco will do the same thing.
Yeah. I hope at least he just does, like, he just officially calls it a solo thing and does a new thing. I hope that he turns it around and says, hey, I'm just Brendan Urie now, and this is what I'm doing. That would be awesome.
And maybe becoming a parent will make his writing mature.
True. Yeah. Yeah. We saw that with Mandy Moore this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be a Las Vegas residency.
He could be a dad and perform. Yeah.
That's true. That's super easy for him.
I did read that he doesn't, he lived in LA for a while, but like the fans got so creepy that he had to move. So I don't know where he lives now, but maybe he lives in Vegas.
He's from Vegas.
Yeah.
So I think he likes Vegas.
Do you think he was friends with the people in the Killers? Before they were all famous?
I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Maybe that would make sense. Maybe they went to high school together.
Yeah.
What a crazy high school that would be.
Oh yeah. Just Brendan Urie roaming the halls, belting high notes.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've got on Panic at the Disco. I'm glad that I listened to all of it, and I don't want to listen to it again for a while, except for that one album that I really, really like. I listened to that one again.
That's Death of a Bachelor.
I listened to I listened to the first 2 songs. When I was listening to everything, and I was like, I think I'm good. Like, I know this album really well, and I don't want to try to like make the experience I'm having listening to all these like a little bit better by like it would feel like I'm like trying to like take a good thing and make a bad thing, like sprinkle good on not a great thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Just the song titles, man. It reminds me of like Michael Scott in The Office when he's like, here's the headline. And then he basically like, he does the whole thing. It's like, it's not a headline. That's the whole article.
yeah.
I wonder what the record for the longest song title is.
Oh God, that sounds. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if it was from this era, but yeah, I don't know. There's a good reason that these tables are numbered. Honey, just haven't thought of it yet. That's a close. It's got to be up there. That's a ridiculous song title.
Not even close.
Whoa, no. What is it?
Well, I'm not seeing like. Of course, it's a Sufjan Stevens song.
Oh, I'm surprised Jackson already didn't light us up with that.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know if he's in the chat, but it's the Black Hawk War, or how to demolish an entire civilization and still feel good about yourself in the morning. Or we apologize for the inconvenience, but you're going to have to leave now. Or I have fought the big knives and will continue to fight them until they are off our lands.
It has all those oars in the song title.
The Dunder Mifflin.
yeah.
It's the fucking yeah. It's 3 song title
Scranton Paper
possibilities.
Company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep. That's good.
Long song titles.
Long song title. I mean, that's like I was a huge Chiodos fan, and that was their bread and butter was that their Baby You Wouldn't Last a Minute on the Creek. Let's see.
Oh, what's that one? Bulls make money.
Bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Let's see. That one's not too bad. Baby You Wouldn't Last Me. Yeah, it's that one. No hardcore dancing in the living room.
And a lot of these bands, when they would have these long ass song titles, that shit wouldn't happen in the song, in the lyrics.
No, never. I don't think it ever happened.
My brother was in a band called the Wilds of Borneo, where one of the song titles was "Sorry, Gas Man, we packed up and moved to Aspen," which is
I like it. Yeah.
It's a quote from I think Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The Undertaker's thirst for revenge is unquenchable. Parentheses, the final battle. This wasn't a concept record. It sounds like it would be with that song title. It wasn't a concept record.
Okay, I'm looking up the Monine record.
The Monine, are you gonna do the robot if we pull it up?
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Well, then this is
I
bullshit.
should, but
Well, then this is fucking bullshit.
I'm just reading the track titles.
I don't want to know. Then I'd rather you just do the robot. Yeah.
Well, I guess they're not actually. Oh, I have never done anything for anyone that was not for me as well.
Great.
Yeah.
I love this. I love it. Well, awesome. Well, I think we're going to do at least one more thing before we call it, and that is one of our favorite artists. I'm going to say I'm not going to speak for you on this. Theo Katzman released a new single.
Like our collectively?
Yeah.
Foo Fighters, but...
Well, like one of ours.
Oh,
like
yeah,
one
yeah.
of, not our favorite, but like one of our favorite artists, Theo Katzman, released a single called Be the Wheel, and we're just going to listen to it and live react to it. It's off the new album that he announced last week, and everything was recorded in like one go all together. I think there's no overdubs on the whole thing.
His own label.
10
good songs.
And I think they were in like a mountain recording it in a cabin somewhere.
Wow.
So we're gonna listen to that, and then we'll probably call it a day there. So let's enjoy, and feel free to talk over it too. You can.
Yeah. I'm probably going to.
Good. No. What the fuck?
That's Panic.
I'm panicking.
We both went, no!
I'm panicking.
Muted keys.
Knock on the door, open the invitation, looking out for a lemonade situation. Hold out your hand, it's a lemonade stand, you see. Thousands of years stuck to the ocean bottom out of the blue. Dayton, Ohio's calling, next thing we knew, man on the moon, you see.
Great drum sound.
Yeah.
Here comes the hurricane, it's blowing, babe.
4 on the floor.
They just have a guy on the live track just with the tambourine just.
Don't be the horse and buggy, be the wheel.
That's great. Lee?
He's not on it at all.
Shit.
It's a bummer. But
Joe Dart?
yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen the video.
Yeah. So nice. That's Theo.
Mm-hmm. I bet they stretched that part out live.
Yeah.
It's blowing, babe, and there goes the automobile. Don't be the horse and buggy, be the
Yeah. That 4 on the floor gets so much stronger at the end of the chorus when it switches to those upbeat hits.
Yeah.
Don't.
Odd measure.
Yeah.
Be the will. Be the will, baby.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's like he said it's his most like mature songwriting he's ever done. He said it's like his this thing he's most proud of so far is this album coming out, and it's I think it shows a lot. It's feels really concise. It feels really together. The band is playing beautifully. It's I know it's Theo, Joe Dart, Jordan Rose on drums.
Good.
And then I don't know the other keyboard player, and I don't know the other guy in the video. It's just doing
This
the
is tampering.
but yeah, it's clearly a really like hugely talented group of musicians.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I just thought of that I want to show you, but I got to find what it's called really fast.
It's not dissimilar to All's Well That Ends Well. The vibe.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, like, the completely different songs, but like the writing feels somewhat similar.
yeah.
He just has these old, like, don't be the horse and buggy, be the wheel. Reminds me of those old adages, like a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's like, where do you get that stuff?
Yeah.
And then I realized, because Taylor Goldsmith from Dawes does this too. And I'm like, oh, they read books.
Yeah.
That's where they get all these cool fucking things.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
books.
Theo definitely reads a lot, and he also is like he's a really not a social media guy. He's pretty
Yeah.
much just in his own space making music and doing his thing. It's like incredibly admirable watching him do what he does.
Yeah.
And like really inspiring. Like this was I was like not to go too deep into whatever, but like I like was having like a pretty bad panic attack last night falling asleep.
Oh shit.
And I just put in my AirPods and just played this, and I just like felt my shoulders fall down.
Oh.
And I just like took deep breaths with the song, and I was like, I like it. This is kind of the thing about him is his lyrical content is really good, but for me, most of the time with music, it's not about that. It's like
Yeah.
the vibe and the feeling, and this was it's a really mature, relaxing feeling from this.
Yeah.
While also like musically being incredibly like active.
Yeah.
You're never gonna listen to this and go, well, maybe you will. I'm not gonna say what you, but for me, I'm never gonna listen to that and go, I'm bored.
If you listen to it and go, I'm bored, then you've got too much other shit going on.
Or
I think.
or like you want something different. That's fine.
Yeah.
But okay, so I have one more thing, and then we'll call it a day. So I don't know how to find this online without whatever. But this is do you know who Shub Saran is?
I don't think so.
Shub Saran is like a friend of Adam Neely. He's in the New York scene. He's an awesome guitar player.
Yeah.
Like crazy good. But he has this song, and I can't find the name of the song, but he's posted it a few times on Instagram of them playing like this little breakdown part. And a huge debate broke out of what the time is for it.
Okay.
So now it's
You quizzing me?
well, I'm just curious now
Okay.
because he revealed what it is, but.
Is it just one time signature?
It's all just 4, baby.
Just the.
It's all just he puts it on the for anybody who's watching is interested. Shub Saran, this is his Instagram. If that's going to show up, it's not. But on this, you spell it SHUBHSARAN. But in the video, I'll show it to you, Dave. He puts like the counts up while it's going. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Cool.
Yeah, super cool.
There's an incredible bass player named Avishai Cohen.
Jackson, you're right.
He's actually right.
He's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
His name is Avishai Cohen. This is an album with him, Mark Juliana, and Jason Linder, I think. On keys. I could be wrong. I think it was this one. Wait for the drums. Or the keys, actually.
Is he bending that?
Dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Jazz school.
I think I've showed the Fernandez 4 to you before, but there's a part in one of their songs that's like a really similar thing. We should do an odd meter day on stream.
Yeah, I'm sure that would go over well.
Hey, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's fun Fridays.
I'm here to have fun, baby.
Not catering Fridays.
That's right.
I faulted. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for watching. You have anything else?
No.
We really appreciate you guys being here. Super fun for us to do this. For anyone who's a fan of the main show, we didn't do one this week, obviously. We'll be back this coming Monday. We didn't do it because of the aforementioned
Ice freeze.
the ice and everything.
Yeah.
We couldn't safely get to places, and we just don't want to do the Zoom stuff anymore. We're pretty overdoing like Zoom podcasting. It's just nicer to do it in person and everything. So we'll be back on Monday, maybe talking about the Grammys. We'll see. Maybe. And then we're probably not going to do a stream for the next couple of weeks. If we do, it'll be not on a Friday because I'll be out of town this Friday, and then we'll both be out of town the following. Oh, you're out of town this Friday too? So
College Station.
I'll be in Houston.
Yeah.
And then we'll be in Houston together in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So maybe we could. No.
I could figure something out.
Bring a mobile.
I could bring a mobile rig for us, but it just kind of depends if we have time to work it out. Because we're gonna have to drive from Austin to Houston that day.
Right.
So if we can, we might be able to do something on the road, but more than likely I want to try to still do something roughly during those weeks, but it'll just be on different days if we do that.
Yeah. And if you want to keep up with us, check out the MNKR Instagram. We'll probably post some stories, maybe live stream a show or two.
Yeah. We're on the road with our band moniker, MNKR Band or MNKR Music, on Instagram. So follow that. If you don't follow or subscribe to Don't Feed the Artists on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok, go find us. Obviously, right here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Like the stream if you haven't already, please. If you subscribe, it should pop up a little alert on the screen with your name on it. It's pretty fun. And DFTA podcast on Instagram. Don't Feed the Artists on TikTok. I'm posting like crazy over on these
you've been
platforms.
putting the work in. You got some funny ones queued up too.
I do. I'm very excited to post some of those. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. And bing bing.
Fuck off!